Hi there, this is Debbie from celestialastrologyhealing.co.uk, and today I'd like to talk about the planetary weather, including the forthcoming solar eclipse on the 20th of April at 4:12 a.m. GMT. So this will be happening at the anaretic degree of Aries, and a solar eclipse is a new moon which also has the nodes of the moon within 18 degrees of the sun and the moon if it's at new moon. So this makes it more powerful. I've heard the expression like a solar eclipse is a bit like a new moon on steroids, for example. So this is a great diagram which shows what happens at the time of a solar eclipse. Now, if the nodes of the moon, which I can show on the astrological wheel shortly, are within a 10-degree conjunction of the sun and the moon in the heavens, this is a total solar eclipse. The solar eclipse on the 20th of April 2023, 4:12 a.m. GMT, you would have to adjust that to your time zone, would be, it's known as a hybrid solar eclipse. So the solar eclipses are very powerful, apparently, if they can be visible from where you are on the Earth. So I don't think this one will be visible for us, but nonetheless, it's good to use these energies and be aware of how we can implement change for the future. If we think about ancient times, for example, when there was no electricity, no oil lamps, no generators, the sun was the powerful source of light in the daytime, which gave energy, hope, vitality, potential to grow, potential to hunt, potential to do all of the activities in day-to-day life. And at night, it was the luminary, the moon. So if the moon was eclipsed during the night, there would be much fear and a sense of ominous things happening as the light of the day or of the evening was obscured, casting darkness and fear because it wasn't known when this light would be returning. But in modern days, we realize that solar eclipses, which always happen at the new moon, bring new beginnings and opportunities for events to develop in our life. As I was saying, like a new moon on steroids, it's like extra power. So eclipses can announce that destiny has arrived, rapidly forcing us to evolve to the next level. Sometimes we could expect powerful shifts of fate, unexpected things that are coming, sudden new beginnings, like a whiplash type of energy in Aries, where the new moon is at this eclipse time. So these solar eclipses mark powerful new eras. And another way of viewing it, an analogy that I've heard, is like if we're in a car and we're looking through the front windscreen, it's like there's different routes to follow ahead, and there's potential for a new direction in life, which can come to fruition over the next 6 to 18 months or so. So what happens during a solar eclipse? And let me just explain as well. They come in pairs twice a year in the same axis, so in oppositions. So we've recently had Taurus and Scorpio oppositions happening, and the last Taurus-Scorpio lunar eclipse will be happening on the 28th of October 2023. But this will be the very first eclipse across the Aries and Libra axes, remembering that Aries is the very first sign of the zodiac, beginning the astrological new year. It's a cardinal fire sign of the zodiac. So there's a lot of energy, initiating energy, new ideas, a courageous, bold sense of moving forward, because Aries is ruled by Mars. So Mars is the ruler of this solar eclipse, which is happening on the 20th of April. So what else can we say? Astrologically speaking, let me bring up the wheel and bring up my annotate tool so that I can point in the heavens. This is the time of the solar eclipse where we can see the moon and the sun. It's actually being squeezed into the house of Taurus, but if we look at the degree, it's 29 degrees Aries, 50 minutes exact. And then the north node of the moon here is at 4 degrees Taurus, so it's only 5 degrees away from the sun. And there's also other planetary bodies going on in this house of Aries here. So we also have at 23 degrees 44 minutes, we have the largest planet of the solar system, Jupiter. And also we have Chiron, part of the asteroid belt of the Centurion belt, at 16 degrees Aries 41. So this is the co-presence of Jupiter and Chiron, which have been in Aries for some time now, gives power and the potential for expansion, enhancement to implement these fiery Aryan type energies, forging ahead in an independent manner. Now, Chiron in Aries can provide potential healing of self-doubt, because Aries is a very youthful sign of the zodiac, the first sign of the zodiac at the beginning of the astrological year. So we can step out into the unknown if we can be courageous and believe in ourselves and recognize our own power. So what also happens at this solar eclipse, it gives us the potential to harness this energy. And as human beings, we always have the choice whether to take this challenge, step into the unknown, embrace new opportunities to develop ourselves and grow more as human beings. So if you have any personal planets in Aries or in this opposite sign of Libra, let me just draw these axes in for you. Aries, the cardinal sign fire, opposite the cardinal sign of air. That's at spring equinox, Aries, autumn equinox, Libra, and then the cardinal sign of Cancer, water, at summer solstice, opposite the winter solstice sign, Capricorn, which is the earth cardinal sign. These are particularly going to be powerful for people that have planets conjoined at the 29th degree, or maybe within a 3-degree orb, around 26 degrees of Aries and Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. But nonetheless, if you know where your birth chart, where your first house is in your birth chart, then you can work out where the house of Aries is and where this new moon solar eclipse will be taking place. So please, if you like my offerings, my astrological sharings of my knowledge, I've been studying modern astrology for decades, and recently, over the last 3 years or so, Hellenistic ancient astrology. Please press the subscribe button and like and share my channel if possible. I'm offering a free birth chart reading based upon your own natal chart promise when I reach 100 subscribers on YouTube. So thanks if you're able to do that, and thank you for those that have already done that to support my journey as a professional astrologer, looking to expand my web, ripple out to more people. As I've said in the past, I think I've saturated the circle of friends that are interested in astrology, so I need to find new viewers and new people whose charts I can read. It's a great passion for me. So let's just go back to some more about what's going to be happening in the heavens. So just after, let me see if I can share the actual my live solar fire program. So is this live right now? Yes, this is live, and I'm going to annotate to the date of the solar eclipse. At the moment, it's showing the 18th of April. This was my Earth Mother's birthday today, so I'm sending her love in the heavens as Spirit connects us. I always feel her guidance and love. So let's click it ahead. So this is the day of the solar eclipse. The moon has just moved past here. And actually what I was looking at 4:30 a.m. on this date, so we need to go back a few hours. My point is that the sun, here we are, the sun has just moved into, just moved into Taurus. So 18 minutes after the solar eclipse, the moon will be, the sun will, no, first of all, it's the moon that moves in, because just ahead of the sun, the moon moves into Taurus, where the moon is exalted in Taurus. So this can provide a sense of stability. After that fiery passion of Aries, we move into the earth sign, the fixed earth sign ruled by Venus, the steady, calm, peaceful sign of Taurus. Hardworking, slightly stubborn, but can be really fixed and practical and steadfast. So any ideas of things that you'd like to implement in the future, as inspired by this solar eclipse in Aries at the anaretic degree. It's quite a tense degree, the very last degree of the sign. It can be motivating but stressful in a way, because the planet is so close to the next sign of the zodiac that there can be a bit of tension as it's trying to get to the next sign. So here we can see the sun and the moon both moved into Taurus here. So the sun here is at 0 degrees Taurus, and the moon's gone to 2 degrees 11 minutes Taurus. This is on the 20th of April at 8:18 GMT. So this practicality, the possibility of these new intentions that you planted at the time of the solar eclipse, can be grounded a bit more. And as I was saying, less than 4 hours after the solar eclipse, the sun also moves into Taurus for the month ahead, co-present with Mercury at 15 degrees Taurus here, 34 minutes, and also Uranus at 17 degrees Taurus, 49 minutes. So this Taurian house would also be very important to you. So in the links below, I will share how to cast your own natal chart using free software and the whole sign house system. If you put your date, place, and crucially the time of birth, that will give you your ascendant, which creates the first house cusp, and then you will know where Aries and Taurus are in your own personal natal chart. So the house of Taurus in the natal chart will be given strength after the sun and the moon move into this house, focusing on whatever topics are highlighted, dependent on which house this is for you. So with Mercury conjoined with Uranus and within a 2-degree orb there, this can bring some inventive thoughts, inspiration, and potential light bulb moments of originality. But as I was saying, because Taurus is a fixed earth sign, it can be a slow process before things can shift on, before you can implement these new ideas, especially as Mercury is in the shadow period and moving very slowly at the moment before moving retrograde. So let's talk about that retrograde motion. I will stop this share if I can. Okay. So yeah, on the 21st of April to the 4th of May, there's going to be the first retrograde of Mercury in Taurus. And we can feel these effects in the pre-retrograde shadow that occurs as early as the 7th of April. So, you know, a couple of weeks ago, Mercury would have been slowing down. So Mercury retrograde has got a bit of a bad reputation for problems with communications and travel and technology, because Mercury is Hermes, the messenger of the gods. He's the merchant, the psychopomp, the trickster, the magician, and he is related to our communications, our ideas, our interaction with others, our journeys and our travels. And also technology, like using computers, the internet, our phones, and our vehicles for transportation. So at this time, it's good to take time during the retrograde period to review, to revisit, to relearn, and reflect upon significant themes in your life that you would like to change. It's usually not a good time during the Mercury retrograde period, that's a good one, to begin new projects or sign contracts until Mercury has gone direct, which will be after the 14th of May, because there could be miscommunications, misunderstandings with Hermes, the messenger, the merchant, appearing to go backwards in the heavens. This is an optical illusion as viewed from our geocentric point on Earth. So during this Mercury retrograde in Taurus, the sign that likes to be slow and steady and take time, let's think about how we can use that time effectively. And for everybody in Taurus, it's a time of quiet reflection, and it might be beneficial just to slow down more and go inwards with a sense of kindness and compassion for ourselves and others, working on ourselves, being patient and reflecting during this Mercury retrograde, which lasts about 3 weeks and a couple of days. And the post-shadow period of Mercury, even though Mercury begins to go direct on around the 14th of May, it's a very slow movement. So there's a cast shadow as Mercury moves on there afterwards. that may last until about the 31st of May. So just bearing all of these things in mind if you're making plans for travel, buying new technology, things like that. But when Mercury is around 15 degrees of Taurus, halfway through the 30-degree sign that each zodiac sign has, there should be potential to, have a boost and go forward. And then on the 4th of June, Mercury will join with Uranus again at exactly 20 degrees Taurus, which may allow that opportunity for ideas to implement with the original ideas that we maybe had earlier on during the cycle before the solar eclipse or around the time of the solar eclipse, to actually implement those ideas and forge ahead with a sense of independent thought, liberation and freedom, thinking outside the box, because Uranus is very inspiring, sometimes destabilizing just because it's rebellious and the orbit is very odd and unpredictable. But yeah, use these energies, know these energies, and then you can actually harness and work with this planetary forces in the heavens, as above, so below. We're connected to the heavens, we're influenced by them, like the moon's effect in the lunar tides and menstruation, for example. And for me today, I know the moon is in Pisces, so it's a time of creativity, sensitivity, compassion, and yeah, time to reflect and just feel a bit more. I'm hoping to go for a swim to get into the sea, into the swimming pool, not the sea. It's too cold in Scotland for that just now, unless you have a wetsuit. But anyway, yeah, the sign of the two fishes today swimming in opposite directions. We have the moon in Pisces, and for me, I like to change my jewelry. Today I've got like lovely abalone shell earrings on that my sister in New Zealand bought me. Yeah, for the Pisces moon, which the moon sign changes every 2 days, roughly 2.5 days. I think moving about 13 degrees of the 30 degrees of the zodiac sign. So just the last thing I'd like to add is on the 11th of June, Mercury will ingress, that means move into a new sign of the zodiac, and moving into Gemini, the temple that Mercury rules. So this should be bringing the opportunity to really move forward with thoughts and ideas and communications and travels, and use those skills and interact with others in a more forthright manner as Mercury stays in Gemini until the 27th of June. So what's that? 16 days, just over 2 weeks, we've got that period of Mercury in Gemini, the house or the temple that Mercury rules. So just be kind to yourself, take time to reflect upon what you can implement to bring into your life over the next 6 months or so. And it could be a real opportunity for new directions, new doors opening, new inspiration and growth in unexpected areas of your life. If you're bold enough to take these steps, come from a place of love, heartfelt sharing, benefit to all beings, connecting with others in mutual respect. This is an opportunity for all of us to evolve and tap into our potential. So sending you many blessings. And again, if you can press the subscribe button, get in touch if you'd like a reading. My website's listed below. I send you much love and blessings, and thanks for listening again. So bye for now.